किशोर जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय जय माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर। श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित
Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you elevated devotees who are the epitome of Shrimad Bhagavatam, who have nicely decorated this katha. I especially welcome the devotees from International Society of Consciousness, and I heartily welcome all the devotees who have assembled here from different parts of the world through Zoom, YouTube, Facebook. I especially welcome the organizers who have, with heartfelt mellow towards our disciplic succession of Gaudiya Madhav, the Devlukya family, the Kundan Ba, Girish Bhai, Rekha Ben, Mayur Bhai, Meenakshi Ben, and from Devlukya family, Shailesh Prabhu, Hema Mata, Deepa Ben, Sandeep Bhai, Radhika Preeti Mata, Ghanshyam Priya Prabhu, Nachiket Bhai, Yashu Bhavi. I welcome you all.
भागवत कथा नहीं कहूंगा, महाभागवतों की इस कथा में
I'm not going to say that this is a Bhagavad Katha because this is a grand Bhagavad Katha. I heartily welcome you all and I pay my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam.
अवतार सार गौरा अवतार। जैसे गौ माता का सार क्या है?
What is the conclusion of a cow? So the conclusion or the end product that we get from cow is ghee or clarified butter. So from milk we get curd and then we get butter, and from butter we get clarified butter or ghee. So in that similar fashion, the subjects of the Vedas is the principal subject Krishna. But the conclusion of Sri Krishna is Srimati Radha Rani, and the conjoined form of Radha and Krishna is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can say that Bhagvat Gita is great as it contains the speech of Lord Sri Krishna, but greater is Shrimad Bhagavatam as it contains the details of pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna and his devotees. But we can say that in Shrimad Bhagavatam there is not much description of the pastimes of Sri Mati Radharani. But the Krishna of Shrimad Bhagavatam is Leela Purushottam or He is the epitome of the pastimes. But when the same Krishna comes with the mellow of Radharani and manifests as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he becomes Karuna Purushottam or the merciful Lord. And what kind of mercy? It's causeless mercy or akarana karuna. So Krishna gave mercy to the devotees who came to them. Like Sudama went to Krishna and he gave everything. But Putna, etc., were not given the same mercy. So Rama and Krishna gave mercy only to the people who came to him or them, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He left his home, family, etc., and went to the devotees himself and non-devotees alike. So Krishna expects in Bhagavad Gita that you need to surrender to me, then only you will be liberated. So there is an expectation by Lord Sri Krishna that a person should come to me. But Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has no expectation, and he even goes to the Muslims and non-devotees, the lowest caste, etc., alike, and gives his mercy. See, that is the reason that Bhagavad Gita is great. Srimad Bhagavatam is greater, but Chaitanya Charitamrut is the greatest.
पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट ग्रंथ कहा सबसे
Srila Prabhupada has mentioned Chaitanya Charitamrut as the postgraduate scripture. And if we desire or want to understand the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we should take the shelter of the SadGoswamis. Why we should take the shelter of them? So let's jump into the Katha. In context of SadGoswami, it's mentioned
नुवर्णन विधो श्रद्धा समुन यन्वितो पापोताप निकृन्तनो तनुभृता गोविंद गानामृते आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धने कनिपुणो केवल्यनिस्तारको वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको। भगवत गीता नहीं, भागवत नहीं, सभी अवतारों का सार है।
So it's not Bhagvat Gita or Bhagavatam, but the conclusion of Radha and Krishna, who is conjoined in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And these Goswamis are expert in describing them. it's mentioned that in this verse that they used to interpret Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's qualities, and they used to spend day and night in doing the same.
ये बहुत समृद्ध थे. आजकल समृद्ध आदमी किसे कहते हैं?
So they were quite
जिसके
affluent.
पास बहुत
So
बैंक बैलेंस होता है, बड़े
nowadays,
बड़े घर
the
होते हैं.
affluence means that a
समझते
person
हैं
who has
कि
a
पहले
huge
कहते हैं
bank balance,
श्रद्धा
great
समृद्ध शब्द
homes,
है.
mansions to stay.
तो इस दुनिया में ये रुपया, पैसा, डॉलर, पाउंड,
But in this material world, all this
ऑस्ट्रेलियन डॉलर,
money
ये
or
सब
dollar,
वास्तविक
etc.
समृद्धि नहीं है.
So these are not the actual
वास्तविक समृद्धि क्या है?
affluence or wealth of a
श्रद्धा
person.
समृद्ध यन्वितो. श्रद्धा
The
ये
actual
वास्तविक समृद्धि है. यदि समझ
opulence
में आए तो,
is Shraddha or
क्योंकि
faith,
इस दुनिया
if
में
you can
किसी भी
understand that.
वस्तु को पैसों से खरीदा जा सकता है,
Because in this
उसे
world,
हासिल किया
everything
जा सकता है.
can be
पुरुषार्थ
bought,
करो, प्राप्त
and if
करोगे.
we do
लेकिन
hard work,
श्रद्धा जो
we
है
can get a few things.
वो
But
किसी पैसों से हासिल नहीं की
faith
जाती.
cannot be
श्रद्धा
bought
कैसे
by
मिलती
any
है?
wealth of this world.
तत्र लौल्यम अपि मूल्यम, लोलुपता लालसा. तो श्रद्धा रूपी समृद्धि से भरे
So the
हुए थे
faith
हमारे षड्गोस्वामी.
cannot be bought by wealth, but
तो दो
can
चीज पहली
be
लाइन में कौन सी
developed
आई? षड
by
गौरांग
love.
गुणानुवर्णन.
So these
वर्णन
Shat
अलग है,
Goswamis were
अनुवर्णन अलग
filled
है.
with faith, and they
गौरांग
used to
चैतन्य
spend
महाप्रभु का वर्णन
their
करते थे,
day and
वर्णन
night
ही नहीं,
to
अनुवर्णन
interpret
माने
the
बारंबार, रिपीटेड.
qualities of Lord Chaitanya repeatedly.
और कोई व्यक्ति किसी के बारे में बारंबार क्यों गाता है? मुझे बताइए.
And why will someone sing the
चलो एक
glories of
बार गाया,
someone
दो
on a
बार,
daily
दो बार
basis?
गाया. अब ले देकर बारंबार किसी के बारे में गाना गाना गाना, इसका अर्थ यही है कि वो जिसके बारे में गा रहा है उससे प्रेम करता है.
So, if someone is singing the
बहुत दिनों
glories
से पूर्व
of a
हमारे
person
भगवान
repeatedly,
ने कहा था,
that means
हर दिल जो
that
प्यार करेगा वो गाना गाएगा. जिसके दिल में प्रेम होगा और जो वास्तव
so,
में किसी से प्यार करेगा,
so
वो जिससे प्यार
because
करता
they
है
love that
उसको
person,
गाए
that
बिना
is
रह
why
नहीं सकता.
they cannot live without singing the
इसलिए हर
glories of
दिल
that
जो प्यार
person.
करेगा वो
There is
गाना
a
गाएगा, और
song
यदि गाएगा तो
that,
दीवाना सैकड़ों में पहचाना जाएगा.
and if you love somebody, that will be
गौस्वामी
revealed
दीवाने होते
sooner
हैं
or later.
किसके?
So
गौरांग
Shat
महाप्रभु,
Goswamis
श्री चैतन्य
were
महाप्रभु के. और
actually
इसीलिए ये महाप्रभु
in
को
so
गाते
much
थे
love with
गुणानुवर्णन.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that they used to sing the
महाप्रभु
glories
का
of
गुण
Chaitanya
वर्णन
Mahaprabhu
करते
day
थे
and night,
और श्रद्धा रूपी समृद्धि से युक्त थे.
and they were
तो जीवन
filled
में
with the
थोड़े बहुत
opulence
पैसे
of
इधर उधर
faith.
हो जाए ना
So in
तो
this
चलता
world,
रहिएगा,
if you
लेकिन
lose
श्रद्धा यदि
some
आपके
wealth
अंदर
or
है,
money, then
क्योंकि
that
श्रद्धा बहुत
can
बड़ा
be
धन
adjusted
है.
or
और कहीं ऐसी गलत संगति में न पड़ जाए
can be lived
कि
with. But
हमारी
if
वर्षों
you
की
lose
श्रद्धा को ठेस पहुंच
faith,
जाए, हमारी
then
वर्षों की किसी
that will
भगवान के
be
प्रति श्रद्धा, भक्त के प्रति श्रद्धा टूट न
a
जाए,
reason for
कहीं
our
ऐसी गलत
destruction.
संगति में न पड़ जाए. ये भी
So we
ध्यान
should be
रखना है,
very careful that we should not
क्योंकि इस दुनिया में
associate in
आपको
bad
श्रद्धा दिलाने
association.
वाले बहुत लोग
Otherwise,
घूम रहे हैं.
your faith will be bewildered.
सो
And there are
श्रद्धा
quite a few people in
समृद्धि
this
अन्वितो.
world who can shake your
और क्या
faith.
कहते हैं? पापोत्ताप निकृंतनो तनुभृताम. इस संसार में
And
तनुभृताम,
in this
इस
world,
संसार के लोग अनेकों प्रकार
the
के पाप और
materialist
ताप में फंसे हुए हैं.
people of this world are entangled
पाप के कारण ही ताप होता है. बहुत सुंदर
in
रचना है ये.
the
पाप और
pap
ताप.
or the
ताप
bad
माने दुख,
activities, and tap
आदिदैविक,
or
आदिभौतिक,
this distress or
आदिआध्यात्मिक.
sadness is
तो
the
हम इस
result
दुनिया में
of
दुख क्यों
our
पाते हैं? क्योंकि पाप है.
impious past deeds that we have
जो दुख
performed, that
करते
is
हैं वो तो
pap.
दुख है ना, प्रॉब्लम है ना. तो
So
फिर
a
किसी को
person
दोष
who
नहीं
has
देना चाहिए.
problem in their life, they should not blame others. They should think that they might have acted some impious activities, that they are getting bewildered and distressed in this life. But the people who are im- have done some impious activities in the past and are suffering the result of the same, such people used to be relieved by the SadGoswamis after singing the glories of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. They would sing the glories or pastimes of the Lord in such a manner that every day the bliss or ecstasy of this katha used to increase on a daily basis. We can we can see in our example as well that we have been listening to this Bhagvatam since 2 years and some more than that, and gradually our taste is developing more and more, and we are becoming more ecstatic and blessed to hear the katha. So when we eat our food, gradually the taste becomes less as we continue to eat more. So, if we compare the first bite that we took and the last bite or the 10th bite that we're taking, we won't enjoy the same level. So, the taste or the bliss will get reduced. And by the time you eat the take the 100th bite, you will be vomiting. That's it. I cannot eat more. So in material world, the pleasure that we get from or by enjoying our senses is temporary and becomes redundant. But when we in in the spiritual world, when we listen to the pastimes of the Lord, our taste increases and our ecstasy increases by time. They they were quite sure that only by listening to the pastimes of Lord Krishna, the people can enjoy the bliss and ecstasy. So that means that if you really want to give pleasure or bliss to someone, then if you feed someone, it can give pleasure only for one time. If you give them clothes in charity or something, how much time are they going to enjoy the same? But the best offering that we can offer to someone is to give the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. And Shad Goswamis were expert in this, as they were aware that the only way to give pleasure to someone is through the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, that is Krishna Katha. So, if I ask you whether you like a crow or a nightingale, then people will say we will prefer nightingale. So, have the crow asked us anything that he needs from us? Has the nightingale given us anything? So, but we still prefer a nightingale. Why? Because she speaks nicely. So, The best speech is the speech discussing the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, that is Bhagvatam. So the person who delivers Bhagavatam to others is considered as the highest charitable person. And by doing so, they used to deliver and liberate so many people, and they were capable of even delivering liberation itself. So, to such SadGoswamis, I bow down and pay my humble obeisances at their lotus feet. So, so in this way, this was the third verse from the Shat Goswami Ashtakam. In next days, upcoming days, we will take others as well. So Sanatan Goswami is already in Varanasi, and he has left everything, his kingly responsibilities, and he has even abandoned Ishan, his servant, because he was also entangled in material desires and money. So when Sanatan Goswami realized that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Varanasi, he went to Varanasi. And when he realized that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was at Chandrasekhar Acharya's home, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to stay, and Sanatan Goswami reaches Chandrasekhar Acharya's home, he didn't enter their home, but he was waiting outside that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come out, then I will meet. That's the humility of a great Acharya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu realized that Sanatan Goswami was sitting outside, and he sent Chandrasekhar Prabhu, and he said that to fetch Sanatan Goswami from outside. So Chandrasekhar Ji went outside and said that, and came back, and he said that there is no devotee. So he said that no, go again and see for yourself. So he said, Chandrasekhar came back and he said that that is a Muslim guy with a huge beard, etc. He's not a devotee. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, no, he is my devotee. You bring him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so Sanatan Goswami refused to go inside. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and tried to embrace Sanatan Goswami. But Sanatan Goswami stopped him, saying that, no, I have incurred huge sins as I am a non believer and you should not touch me. So, so, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatan Goswami to remove all the beard, etc. As he had detached everything. He was detached from everything and he left as it is. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arranged for the beard, etc., and gave him a form of a devotee or a sage. And then he gave a piece of cloth and divided in two and gave it to Sanatan Goswami to wear. So he told Sanatan Goswami that Right now, I'm at Chandrasekhar Acharya's home. So you come tomorrow to the banks of River Ganga, and we will meet tomorrow. And because I have some work with you.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु के चरणों में बैठे हैं। आइए
So
चैतन्य
Chaitanya
महाप्रभु का थोड़ा
Mahaprabhu
सा आस्वादन करते
and
हुए
Sanatan Goswami
हम
are sitting on the banks
चैतन्य
of the
महाप्रभु और
River
सनातन
Ganga.
गोस्वामी का
Sanatan
साक्षात्कार
Goswami is
मंत्र द्वारा
sitting at the
संपन्न होगा।
lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's discuss
कविराज गोस्वामी
some
जी
verses from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in present in
तबे
front of your screen.
सनातन प्रभु चरणे धरिया दैन्य विनंती करे दंते तृणलैया नीच जाति नीच संगी पतित यधम कुविषय कूपी पड़े गोलाई नु जना। अपने गुरु से मिलकर एक शिष्य को क्या बोलना चाहिए सीखो यहाँ से।
So we should learn how and what we should speak when we meet our spiritual master. This is what we should learn from our acharyas. So, so, so sometimes when we meet our spiritual master, we keep on speaking and we don't listen to what the spiritual master has to say. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatan Goswami met for 2 months, but the initial discussion that they have is the one which I like the most. So, let me show you 2-3 verses, and because of these 2-3 verses that so Rup Goswami was given only 10 days to Rup Goswami, while Sanatan Goswami was given 2 months of association, and the knowledge that was shared is considered as Sanatan Shiksha. So, Sanatan Goswami is sitting at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with filled with humility, and he has a grass in his mouth, and he's saying that I I am from a very lower class. So he's not from a lower class. It's his humility. He is one of the greatest Saraswat family background, but yet he is calling himself as the lowest of the low. And he says that my association had been the lowest, and I am the most sinful person, and I have been engaged in so many sense enjoyment, and I have spoiled my lifetime opportunity of this human life. And further he adds,
प्रभु मैं मेरा हित कैसे होगा मैं ही नहीं जानता हूं। ये अंडरस्टैंड
adds that
वास्तव में हमारा
he
हित
adds
किसमें
that
है वो हम लोग ही नहीं जानते हैं
that I even
दुनिया
not
में क्या मेहनत क्या
know
प्रयास करेंगे
what is the best for me. So that is our situation as well. So we don't even know how we will get liberated, or what is in our best interest. So some people are engaged in collecting the money and wealth. So will it be the only thing that will be beneficial for us? He says that in this material world, I am expert in venturing in the material world and dealing with the materialist people of this world. But oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please guide me. What should I do? What is the self-righteous way for me so that I can be delivered from this world? So the mood of Vedas are being expressed by Sanatan Goswami here.
के ने आमाय जारतापत्र इहा नाही जानी के नेहित साध्य साधन तत्व पूछिते न जानी कृपा करी सब तत्व कहत यापनी। मुझे मेरे पुराने दिन याद आ रहे हैं।
So I remember my old days. Although I am born in a family of devotees, and since my childhood I've been listening to Harinam. But although if we are born in a devotee family, yet I was unable to connect with the devotees and the scriptures. So this was the first thing that touched my heart. So this is the first line of this verse that shook me and enlightened me. So Sanatan Goswami says that, please tell me that who am I? So is he unaware that who exactly is he? He is Sakar Malik, or he belongs to the family of Saraswat Brahman, but that is the material position. So he says that, no, tell me my actual position in this world. So if Sanatan Goswami says that I have lived for 50 years, but yet on a daily basis we are working hard to get happiness, but yet we are not able to be happy. So the first question is, who am I? And the second is, why I'm suffering? Although I'm trying hard and working hard to achieve happiness, but still I'm devoid of any happiness. So today I'm in this world, but before that, what I used to do, and after this life, what I'm going to do. So if this is life, then even animals are doing the same. Then what is the difference between a human and an animal? So I want to add and request you all that until and unless you come to this realization, till then there is no spiritual realization. Even if we read Bhagvat Gita or Bhagvatam, our spiritual journey starts from here. Who am I? And why I have been given this human body? From where have I came, and after my death, where will I go? And how I'm going to get benefit? What should I do to get benefit? So what is this body given to us? So what is the goal for us? So what is the goal for this human life? So some people might say that we want to earn huge amounts of money. So are the people who are affluent happy? So so what is the goal and what is the process of to achieve this goal?
प्रभु सच कहूं तो पूछी ते ना जाने, मुझे तो ये सब पूछने को भी नहीं आ रहा। सनातन
So
गोस्वामी
Sanatan Goswami says in his humility that
हम तो
even
प्रश्न पूछते हैं
I
फिर भी इतने
am
कॉन्फिडेंस
not
से पूछते हैं कि इसमें
trying
क्या, आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन,
to,
उंगली दिखा दिखा कर, लेकिन धन्य है सनातन गोस्वामी
I'm not
कि
able
ये
to
सब है,
ask a question as
लेकिन
well. So
आपका
this is the
दिखाते
humility.
कुछ भी
It's
नहीं है,
not like
पूछना
we
तो
should raise our
चाहते
finger
हो,
and say that, oh, we need to
पूछते
ask a
न
question. We are
जाने,
so much filled with confidence
लेकिन
that
आप तो
we lack
कृपालु हो,
humility.
आप तो कृपालु हो
So
ना,
Sanatan Goswami says that
कृपा करी
you
सब
are
तत्व कहत आपनी, आप
the
तो
ocean of
कृपालु हो
mercy. So please
और सारे कहत आपनी।
shower your mercy
ठीक है,
on me
सनातन
and
गोस्वामी ने
share with me
काशी में, वाराणसी में गंगा के तट पर बैठकर
the
इस
goal
प्रकार से
of my
चैतन्य
life
महाप्रभु को कहा।
and how I can
चैतन्य
be
महाप्रभु क्या
happy
कहते हैं सुनिए।
and what should be my goal. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answers,
प्रभु कहे कृष्ण कृपा तो माते पूर्ण हय, सब तत्व जान तो मार नाही तापत्रय। कृष्ण शक्ति धर तुमी जान तत्व भाव, जानी दाढ़े लागी पूछे साधुर स्वभाव। चैतन्य महाप्रभु नहले पर दहला है।
so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu outwits Sanatan Goswami here. He says that
कृष्ण कृपा तुम्हाते पूर्ण है,
that
सनातन तुम्हारे ऊपर
you
कृष्ण की
have
पूर्ण कृपा है, तुम ऐसा
the
मत
full
कहो।
mercy of Lord Shri
प्रभु
Krishna. You
कहे
should not
कृष्ण
say
कृपा
like this,
तुम्हाते पूर्ण है, तुम्हारे ऊपर कृष्ण की पूर्ण, क्योंकि तुम ये जो पूछ रहे हो ना,
because the question that you're
संसार का आदमी
asking,
इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर पहुंच जाता है
because a
तो
person who
साधुओं की
reaches
पूर्ण
this
कृपा होती है।
stage, that means that he has already
कौन सा
received
शेर
the
खरीदने जाओ, तुम कहाँ
mercy
खरीदोगे,
of
वही
Lord
जिज्ञासा होती
Krishna.
है।
Otherwise,
लेकिन
we
जिस दिन
usually
ये
inquire
वो
about
जिज्ञासा
the
होने लगे,
shares
आत्मिक
and where we
जिज्ञासा
can
होने
make
लगे,
more money. That is
सब वो
our
कृष्ण की
inquiry.
कृपा हो रही
But
है।
once a person
सो
inquires,
प्रभु
who am
कहे
I?
कृष्ण
That
कृपा
means that
तुम्हाते
he has
पूर्ण है,
already been
आप तो
showered the
पूर्ण से
mercy of
कृष्ण
Lord
की
Shri
कृपा है।
Krishna.
सब तत्व जान तुम्हार नाही तापत्रय। तुम सनातन, क्या मैं नहीं जानता? तुम
So he
सब
says that
तत्व को जानते हो,
I am
सारा ज्ञान
aware
तुम्हारे
that
अंदर है
you are full of knowledge.
और तुम्हारे
You
जीवन में
already
क्या
are
है,
aware of everything,
तुम्हारे जीवन में कोई
and
दुख नहीं है,
your life
लेकिन
is
फिर
not
भी
filled
तुम
with
इस
misery
प्रकार
or
से
distress,
जिज्ञासा कर
but
रहे हो।
yet you're
बहुत
asking
सुंदर, हमारे गुरुदेव का
such
यही है
questions.
दूसरा श्लोक।
So this verse is one of
कृष्ण
the
शक्ति
favorites of
धर
Our
तुमी,
Guru Maharaj.
सनातन तुम्हारे अंदर तो कृष्ण की शक्ति है,
He says that
कृष्ण
you
की
have the
शक्ति तुम्हारे
energy of
अंदर
Lord
दिख
Shri
रही है।
Krishna,
कृष्ण शक्ति धर तुमी जान तत्व भाव, और तुम सारे तत्व को और भाव को
and
जानते
you
हो,
are fully
फिर भी
aware
तुम ये
of
पूछते हो,
all the
कारण यही है,
knowledge and
जाने
Vedic
दाढ़े लागी
injunctions.
पूछे साधुर स्वभाव। कारण तुम सब कुछ जानते हो फिर भी तुम पूछ रहे हो,
And the
कारण
reason
यही
you're
है कि
asking
साधु का
these
स्वभाव
questions
ऐसा
is
है
because
कि
that is
दाढ़
the
में कोई
nature
वस्तु आ जाए ना,
of
तो
a
उसे खाने का
sadhu
मन,
or
मतलब
a
थोड़ी सी चीज मिल
sage,
जाए तो उसे और ज्यादा प्राप्त करने का मन
that
करता है।
even if he get a
जैसे इस दुनिया में किसी को
bite
थोड़ा
in
सा
his
भोजन मिल जाए
teeth,
तो सोचते हैं और
he
ज्यादा
will
मिल जाए, थोड़ा सा धन मिल जाए तो और लोभ होता है। वैसे
he
साधुओं को क्या लोभ होता है, थोड़ी कथा मिल जाए तो और ज्यादा मिले,
he
और
becomes
ज्यादा मिले।
greedy to know more
साधु
and to understand or listen to more of the pastimes of the Lord.
श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने निवेदन किया और
So
फिर तो
in
चैतन्य
this manner,
महाप्रभु
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
सुनाना प्रारंभ कर दिया।
answered Sanatan Goswami, and he started discussing with Sanatan Goswami. He told him the way to get liberation. He gave him knowledge of Advaita and the pastimes of Sri Krishna. How many types of incarnations of the Lord are there? So all these were discussed with Sanatan Goswami, and 2 months finished. And after 2 months, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has transferred his knowledge to Sanatan Goswami, then he tells Sanatan Goswami that you should go to Vrindavan, and the knowledge that I have shared with you, on this basis you should write scripture, and moreover you should take, on the basis of the Vedas and Vedic injunction, you need to decipher or rediscover the pastimes of Krishna Leela, or the land of the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. So in this manner, Sanatan Goswami didn't wanted to leave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had no desire to leave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But as you have heard yesterday, that it's not about the desire that we have. The greater desire is the desire of our bona fide spiritual master. So instead of fulfilling his desire, he left for Vrindavan to fulfill the desire of his bona fide spiritual master. So he stayed there for 1 month in Vrindavan. But he was in separation with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was missing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much. So he said that I will stay in Vrindavan, but now there will be a Rath Yatra at Jagannath Puri, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already left for Jagannath Puri. The Sanatan Goswami, after staying for 1 month, he also left for Jagannath Puri, crossing the forest through the Jharkhand state. But there was one problem. Because of the dust and the condition of the forest, that Sanatan Goswami got infected with a disease. By the time he reached Jagannath Puri, his whole body was filled with wounds and he was bleeding. So Sanatan Goswami reached there, but he realized that if I go to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he will come and embrace me, and my body is filled with all these impurities of blood and pus, etc. So he was sitting in a corner. He was hiding himself. And while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was got the news that Sanatan Goswami is there, so he tried to find him. And finally he went to see Sanatan Goswami, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to embrace him, but Sanatan Goswami started to run away, that don't touch me. So this is the humility of our acharyas that we should imbibe. So one time there was the summer month of June, and in that hot weather of June, he didn't went to eat his food. but he went
और महाप्रभु
to the
सनातन
seashore.
गोस्वामी लॉन्ग कट लेकर दूर भले था लेकिन समंदर के तट से होकर
So,
महाप्रभु के पास पहुंचे।
so, so,
चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने कहा सनातन
so, so
तुम
Chaitanya
समंदर के पार से
Mahaprabhu,
तो 2 मिनट में पहुंच जाते, तुम पूरा
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went on the shores
सनातन
the
गोस्वामी कहते हैं प्रभु
of the
मैं
sea,
सीधा आता हूँ
and
और
Sanatan
बीच में जगन्नाथ मंदिर का द्वार पड़ता है
Goswami
और
took a
श्रीमद्
longer
भागवत
route
वैष्णव का
to
बहुत
go
अच्छा
and
गान
meet
होता
Chaitanya
है
Mahaprabhu. He said that
और
why
मेरे
you
शरीर
took the
में रोग
longer
है,
route. He said
फिर
that
किसी वैष्णव से मेरा स्पर्श हो गया
if I
तो ये
took
कौन
the shorter
किसी
run, then
वैष्णव को स्पर्श
I will
करता, मुझे अच्छा
have
नहीं
to
लगता, इसलिए
come
मैं पूरा
through
जगन्नाथपुरी घूम
Jagannath
करके
Puri,
इधर आया हूँ।
and by
फिर चैतन्य महाप्रभु की आंखों में
mistake
आंसू आ
I
गए,
could
सभी
touch
भक्तों के आंखों में आंसू आ
any
गए
Vaishnava and I
कि
could
इतने
hurt
कष्ट काम
somebody.
किसी
So
वैष्णव का
that is
दर्शन
the
करने
reason I have roamed around the Jagannath Puri
महाप्रभु
and
सावधान
reached
हो
you.
गए।
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was
सनातन
overwhelmed
गोस्वामी
with
कहते तुम
emotion
स्पर्श मत करना,
by
महाप्रभु
seeing the
लास्ट में
humility of
जबरदस्ती सनातन
Sanatan
गोस्वामी को
Goswami,
आलिंगन
and
किया,
he
बीच में
embraced Chaitanya
महाप्रभु की
Mahaprabhu, although
छूट गई।
Sanatan Goswami was
फिर रथ
refusing
यात्रा जब
him
प्रारंभ हुई
and
ना
telling him not to do the
तो रथ
same.
रथ जब चलने लगा तो सनातन गोस्वामी दूर दूर चल रहे थे
So when
क्योंकि शरीर
the
में रोग
Rath
था। सनातन
started, or
गोस्वामी
the
बड़े
chariot
अफसोस हुए,
started
एक
to
ही जिंदगी
start,
कि
so
मैं किसी वैष्णव से गले नहीं मिल सकता, किसी के चरण नहीं
Sanatan
पकड़ सकता,
Goswami
मेरे
was
शरीर में इतना रोग है,
walking
मैं
at a
महाप्रभु
distance
से
so
नहीं
that
मिल
not to
सकता,
disturb
ऐसा
others.
बदतर जीवन जीने से तो अच्छा है मैं रथ यात्रा के चक्के के नीचे मेरा प्राण त्याग दूं।
Sanatan Goswami was
सनातन
thinking
गोस्वामी
that
के मन में,
what
और
is the
प्राण त्यागने
use
की
of such
तैयारी,
a body,
लेकिन भक्त
but
का
I
भाव
cannot
भगवान तो
serve
समझ जाते
or
हैं।
embrace
तुरंत
Chaitanya
चैतन्य
Mahaprabhu,
महाप्रभु
or
सनातन के
I
पीछे
can
आए,
not even
लेकिन
serve a
उस समय क्या
Vaishnava,
सोच रहे हो?
then what is
सनातन
the
गोस्वामी
use or
कहते हैं
benefit of this body?
मेरे मन
It's
की बात
better that
महाप्रभु को कैसे
I
पता
should
चल गई?
jump in front of the
चैतन्य
chariot
महाप्रभु ने
and get
बहुत
crushed
सुंदर
under
बात
its
बताई।
wheel. Chaitanya
सनातन
Mahaprabhu realized
स्वप्न में
Sanatan
भी
Goswami's intention and he said
आत्महत्या
that
की मत सोचना,
even in your
क्यों?
dreams,
क्योंकि
never ever
सनातन ये
think
तुम्हारा
of
शरीर तुम्हारा नहीं,
committing
ये मेरा शरीर है।
suicide,
विचार
as
करो भक्तों,
it's not your
श्री
body,
चैतन्य
it's my
महाप्रभु जिसको
body.
अपना शरीर कहा,
Imagine
वो
Chaitanya
सनातन गोस्वामी की
Mahaprabhu
कितनी गरिमा होगी। सनातन ये तुम्हारा शरीर
saying
नहीं, ये
that this
मेरा
is
शरीर,
not
मुझे
your
कुछ
body, this
काम
is
करना है
my
इसलिए
body,
ये तुम्हारा शरीर मेरा साधन है,
and
मुझे इस
you
शरीर से बहुत काम
are
करवाना है।
the
और याद
source
रखो
of
तुमने मुझसे दीक्षा
the
ले
work
रखी
that I
है।
want to get
दीक्षा का
completed,
मतलब क्या है?
and you
दीक्षा
have
काले
taken
शिष्य करे
initiation from me.
आत्मसमर्पण।
And
सनातन
as you
दीक्षा
have
के समय ही
taken
तुमने अपना शरीर मुझे
initiation
सौंपा
and
है।
you have surrendered
अब इस
completely to
शरीर
me,
को
so
मेरा
you have
जिम्मेदारी है।
offered your
तुम
body
सोच
as
भी
well to
कैसे
me.
सकते हो
So
कि
how can you
जगन्नाथ जी
think
के
of
रथ के बीच
committing
में
a
मैं
suicide,
आत्महत्या करूं?
that too under the chariot of Jagannath ji?
फिर तो श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु जबरदस्ती सनातन गोस्वामी को गले मिले
So
और
after
महाभारत
that,
का दिव्य
Chaitanya
खेल
Mahaprabhu
जैसे ही
forcefully
सनातन जी के गले मिले,
embraced
सनातन
Sanatan
गोस्वामी के
Goswami,
शरीर में
and
जो रोग था वो रोग
as soon
तुरंत
as
ही मिट गया
Chaitanya
और
Mahaprabhu
बिल्कुल
touched Sanatan
बिल्कुल
Goswami,
स्वर्णमयी, बिल्कुल
Sanatan
कहे कि आत्मा
Goswami got relieved
स्वर्णमयी
from
सोने जैसा
all
सुंदर
his
शरीर
disease
श्री
and he
चैतन्य
started to
सनातन
shine
गोस्वामी को हो
like
गया।
gold.
और
It's
श्री
mentioned in
चैतन्य
the
महाप्रभु ने
scriptures.
कहा कि सनातन अब रथ यात्रा समाप्त हो गई,
So
तुम्हारा यहाँ आना
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that
परीक्षित
now
कंप्लीट हो गया,
the
चलो
Jagannath Yatra has
और वृंदावन
finished.
जाकर
So
मेरी
now
आज्ञा है
you
ग्रंथ
need to
लिखो
follow my
और
instruction
ब्रज
and
भूमि
go to
को
Vrindavan
प्रकट करो,
and
वहाँ की
manifest the
सारी
past,
लीला स्थलियों
the
को प्रकट करो और मैं जिन
the
जिन लोगों को
places,
भेजता
the
हूँ
holy places of the
मेरे
pastimes of Lord Shri
उनको
Krishna,
अपने
and
साधन सिद्ध
whoever
करो।
I am sending,
श्री
just
सनातन गोस्वामी
take
जी
them under
ये
your
दोनों
shelter
भाई
and guide them.
रूप और सनातन दोनों
So,
वृंदावन में, आप देखो
so
भक्तों
these two
महाप्रभु ने
brothers,
क्या मेहनत की है। हम तो बस
this
टिकट
Rup
लेकर वृंदावन चले जाते हैं,
Goswami
ये
and
दर्शन वो दर्शन करके आते हैं, लेकिन
Sanatan
उसके पीछे
Goswami
इन
were both in
आचार्यों का
Vrindavan.
समर्पण देखो।
So we should
अपना राज,
not only just
धन, संपत्ति
visit
सब
these
कुछ वो
places, we
त्याग
should
कर
even realize
खूब
the
सनातन दोनों वन
surrender
में रहते थे
and sacrifice that these acharyas
और
have
आते क्या
done
था, 5 दिन
to
में एक
present
बार
up
शुष्क रोटी,
for
चार
us
चपाई
all
रोटी मिली तो
these
मिली, नहीं तो छाछ पीकर अपना दिन बिता लेते और दिन भर क्या करते,
places, and
वैष्णव पुराण को अपने
to
हाथों में रखते
they used to
क्योंकि
feed
ये
only
भगवान
on a
पराशर
chapati that
ने
they will get,
रुक्मिणी देवी को कौन सा
or
तीर्थ कहाँ पर है
buttermilk, whatever they get, and they will sleep. And if they didn't get anything to eat at that time, they will.
कि भाई किस एंगल में कृष्ण जन्मभूमि
And
है, किस
they
एंगल में
used to
कृष्ण का
read
विवाह वन, ये वन वो वन,
Varaha
इतना
Puran
मेहनत करते
to
थे।
find out
और
the
उस समय
exact
कुछ
location of
कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट भी नहीं
the
होता,
pastimes of Lord
पुराण
Shri
के अनुसार
Krishna
बोले यहाँ
were
पर कोई
performed
सूरज
in
का
which
उखल जब
particular
माना जाता,
place.
तो वहां पर कोई अपनी निशानी रख देते कि ये
And
निशान से
then
उखल बंद है, फिर आगे चल के
they
ये
used
वन
to
ये
put
ये है
their
ये है,
own marking
इस प्रकार से ये खोजते
so
थे।
that
रात दिन मेहनत करके
to
भगवान
analyze
की लीला
and
ढूंढते
find
थे।
each and
अब
every
विचार
place
कीजिए,
where the pastimes
हम
of Lord
ब्रज
Shri
जाते
Krishna were
हैं,
performed. So
ब्रज में
imagine
दर्शन
that we
करते हैं,
go and roam
लेकिन जब
around
तक ये
in
रूप
on
सनातन
the land of
शास्त्रों
Braja,
का स्मरण न
but
किया जाए,
until unless
स्मरण नहीं
we
जाए, तब तक ये
remember
दर्शन अधूरा
and
है।
take the shelter of these
तो जब हम
acharyas,
कहीं ब्रज में
then
गए,
our journey is incomplete, because
वृंदावन
these
गए,
are the
एक
people
दिन
who have sacrificed their lives to discover these
वहां पर हमारे
places.
सनातन गोस्वामी विचरण
So
कर
once
रहे थे,
upon a time,
और कुछ बच्चे वहां पर खेल रहे थे।
Sanatan Goswami was roaming
खेलते
in
खेलते
Mahavan,
सनातन गोस्वामी ने एक
and the
एक
kids were playing around,
बिल्कुल कृष्ण जैसा
and he saw one
श्याम वर्ण का
person
शरीर,
who
सुंदर
was
स्वरूप
he saw
पीताम्बर
one
धारण
kid who
किया
was
हुआ,
playing, and he
छोटे
was
छोटे बच्चे
looking
किस
like
तरह खेल
Lord
रहे थे।
Krishna. He
और
was
इन्होंने ग्रंथ
cloud
तो पढ़े,
colored,
शास्त्र
wearing
तो पढ़े,
yellow clothes,
बोले ग्रंथों में शास्त्रों में जैसा कृष्ण का वर्णन है,
and he thought that
वैसा ही निश्चित ही
that
कृष्ण है।
this kid which
और
I
सनातन
see
गोस्वामी को
is
क्लिक
as
हुई, और
exact
उसी
as
समय
it's
पीछे
mentioned
पीछे
in the
दौड़े,
scriptures.
बालक आगे आगे,
So
सनातन गोस्वामी पीछे पीछे
Sanatan Goswami
दौड़ते
says
दौड़ते
that
दौड़ते
he's
बालक
Krishna
कहाँ
himself, and he
चला गया,
started
सनातन
running
गोस्वामी खोजते रहे।
behind this
अब
kid,
भगवान को पकड़ना आसान थोड़ी ना है,
and
बड़ा मुश्किल है। उस गुफा में जाकर देखा बालक ही
Krishna
नहीं था।
went to the
सनातन
cave
निश्चित समझ
and
गए कि भगवान
disappeared.
आए थे चले गए।
So
अब
Sanatan
सनातन
Goswami
गोस्वामी की
realized that
विवलता बढ़ी कि
Krishna
सारे
has arrived,
देवता
but he
किधर
left.
चले गए।
So Sanatan Goswami
उस
was
कृष्ण की
overwhelmed and
याद में
worried that
सनातन गोस्वामी
why
रोने
Krishna
लगे,
left.
रोते रोते उनको नींद
He
आ
was
गई,
bewildered and he was
और नींद
crying
से
throughout the
कृष्ण ने
night,
स्वप्न दिया। वही
and
बालक
he
सनातन
slept
गोस्वामी के स्वप्न में
in
आया।
that situation. And while he was sleeping, he
सनातन
saw
ने
in
और कोई
dreams
नहीं,
the same
मैं
kid,
मदन गोपाल
Krishna
बन गया।
himself, and he said that
बोले
I
मदन
am no
गोपाल
other
कौन?
than Madan
बोले
Gopal.
सतयुग में महाराज
He
अम्बरीश
said that
महाराज
who
थे ना,
Madan Gopal? He said that
जहाँ भागवत की
Madan
कथा के समय
Gopal,
में अम्बरीश
the
महाराज की कथा है,
the
सब
Katha
कनेक्ट होता है
or
भागवत
pastime
गीता
comes
से।
in Bhagvatam
अम्बरीश महाराज पूरी धरती के
in
राजा,
the
सप्तद्वीपवती मनु,
reference of
और वो
Ambrish
द्रोणाचार्य से
Maharaj.
जो प्रसंग है ना, एकादशी व्रत, तो उन्होंने एकादशी व्रत
So there is a pastime of
वृंदावन में मथुरा में
Ekadashi.
आकर किया था।
So that
तो
fasting was
अम्बरीश महाराज
performed by Ambrish Maharaj in
ने
Vrindavan.
को मेरी प्रतिमा मूर्ति प्राप्त हुई थी,
So Ambrish Maharaj
और
had
उन्होंने नाम
got
रखा था
my
मदन गोपाल।
deity, and
और अम्बरीश
whose
महाराज
name
चले
was
गए के
Madan
बाद
Gopal.
सतयुग में
And
अम्बरीश चले गए तो
after
त्रेता
Ambrish
युग में
Maharaj
इंद्र ने
left,
मेरी पूजा की।
after that, in the
उसके
next
बाद
Treta
राम जी ने
Yuga,
पूजा की, सीता जी ने पूजा की।
Indra used to worship me and
और
offer
फिर राम जी
veneration. And
लवणासुर को
later,
वध
Lord
करने के लिए
Ramchandra and Sita
शत्रुघ्न
ji
जी को
used
ब्रज में
to
भेजे,
offer
और
veneration
मेरे
to
विग्रह
me.
को लेकर शत्रुघ्न जी
And
ब्रज में आ गए,
Shatrughan took
और
me
मथुरा में विविध राजा
to
महाराजाओं ने मेरी
Vrindavan,
पूजा की।
and he
और फिर
used
एक दिन
to
अद्वैत आचार्य
offer
जी आए
veneration to
और
me.
आदित्य टीला से मुझे यहाँ से प्रकट किया। अद्वैत आचार्य को
So one
मेरी
day,
मूर्ति मिली,
Advait
विग्रह मिला,
Acharya
तो
manifest
उनको नवद्वीप मायापुर जाना था, तो अद्वैत आचार्य मथुरा
rediscovered me
में
here.
परशुराम चतुर्वेदी को
So
मेरे
when
विग्रह
he
प्रदान
was to
कर
go
दिए,
to
और
Mathura,
वो
he
चले
gave
गए।
my
तो मैं मथुरा में
deity,
चौबे जी
this
के घर
same
पर हूँ,
deity,
और
to Parshuram,
सनातन अब मैं चाहता हूँ कि
and
तुम मेरी
I'm
सेवा
there.
करो,
But
मैं
now I
तुम्हारी सेवा
want
लेना चाहता
you
हूँ।
to
परशुराम
offer
चौबे
me
जी के घर,
devotional
चौबे जी
service.
के घर पर मैं रहता हूँ।
So you
अब
go
परशुराम चौबे की
to the
पत्नी,
home of Parshuram
परशुराम जी की
Chobeji,
तो मृत्यु हो गई थी, लेकिन
and
चौबे जी की पत्नी उनकी सेवा
Parshuram
करती थी।
Chobeji dead long
और
ago, but
उनके
his
घर में
wife
दो
used
बच्चे
to
थे,
do
एक
this devotional service
मदन
towards
गोपाल
the
को
Lord.
अपना बेटा मानती, ये विग्रह, और दूसरा अपना बेटा था,
So she
और
considered
इतना भाव था
Madan
दोनों बच्चों
Gopal
के प्रति।
as his
और एक अपना
son and
बेटा
his
और एक
other
एक
son
मतलब
as his son.
कृष्ण को ही अपना
So he
बेटा मानती थी।
considered that these two were my
ऐसी
sons.
माँ के दो
So
बेटे हो और दोनों को कैसे भोजन खिलाती हैं, गोद में बिठा कर खिलाती हैं,
offer
पिलाती हैं, वैसे रोज
similar
उनकी
things to both her sons, and in this manner she used to do the devotional service towards the Lord. As soon as he realized this, he went to Mathura to beg for alms there. So and he went to their home. So when he went there,
लेकिन इन्होंने
the
देखा
Madan Gopal and her son are both playing, and he saw that the mother
अपने वो बेटे को भी खिला रही थी, मदन गोपाल को भी
was
खिला रही थी।
offering
सनातन गोस्वामी के मन में हुआ
the food
कि
that was
साक्षात भगवान मेरे
offered
स्वप्न में आए
to
और ये साक्षात
her
भगवान का
son,
विग्रह है,
the similar food she
और
was giving
विधि विधान का पालन न करे तो
to
इस प्रकार से सेवा।
the Lord. So he realized
सनातन
that
गोस्वामी ने
she
बोला
was
अरे
not
देखो
doing
बात
the
तो
pure
पूछता
devotional
है कि विधि
service
के अनुसार
in the ritual and
स्पर्शता का
etiquette that
भाव
should be
रखो,
followed.
थोड़ी पवित्रता से सेवा करो।
So he advised
इस
her
प्रकार
that you
सनातन
should
गोस्वामी ने कह
try
दिया और माता जी के मन में हुआ कि
to
हाँ भाई ध्यान
to
रखना
offer
चाहिए।
the
और
service
दूसरे
to
दिन
the
से
Lord
वो जो अपने
in
बेटे की
the
तरह था
best
पवित्र मंदिर
ritualistic
उसको
manner.
मंदिर में रख दिया और ओम
So
नमो
after
ब्रह्मचारिणे
that,
गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च करके भोजन खिलाने लगी। मदन गोपाल ने माता जी को कहा, माता जी ये क्या शुरू कर दिया?
so she realized her mistake and she started
नहीं लग रही है,
she
तुम
started
अपने बेटे
to
की तरह जो मुझे भोजन
venerate
खिला पिला रही हो
Madan
ये मुझे
Gopal,
अच्छा लग रहा है।
and
तो इसका मतलब तो ये
Madan
हुआ ना
Gopal
कि तुम
manifested
अपने
and said
बेटे
that
को बेटा
I'm
मान
not
रही हो, मुझे
liking
बना
this
के खड़ा कर दिया
ritualistic
स्टैचू के रूप में।
process. So
मैं
I
मुझे तो
was
नहीं, मैं
playing,
भी तो आपका बेटा हूँ, तो बेटे
I'm
की
a,
तरह मुझे रखो, बेटे की
I was
तरह मुझे
playing like
खिलाओ।
a child with you as your son,
माता
but
जी
now
सेवा
you
करने
have
लगी, सेवा
kept me
करते
as a
करते
deity.
एक
I
दिन वो
also
करते
have
करते बूढ़ी हो गई
a living
और
form.
सनातन गोस्वामी रोज भिक्षा करने उनके घर पर जाते
So Sanatan
और जब
Goswami
भिक्षा
used to
करने जाते
visit
तो
her
मदन
on a
गोपाल जी
daily
रोज
basis,
देखते रहते।
and he
एक दिन बूढ़ी
daily
जी ने
used
उनसे
to
कहा
have
कि
darshan
हमसे
of Madan
सेवा नहीं
Gopal.
हो रही है,
And the
आप एक काम
Mataji
करो,
said that I'm
मदन
unable
गोपाल को आप
to
लेकर आओ।
serve the Lord now
और
as I'm
सनातन के मन
getting
में तो था ही कि
old.
मदन गोपाल जी
So
ने
can
सेवा
you
करनी
please take him
है। मदन गोपाल जी को
along with
लेकर आए।
you and serve him?
इतिहास में
So
वर्णन है
Sanatan Goswami
श्रावण
had the
मास
same mood, and
शुक्ल
he
पक्ष
took Madan
द्वितीया
Gopal
तिथि
from him.
और 1590
So in
हाँ,
15 and
सन
90,
1590 में सुबह ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में
in the
आदित्य
Brahm
हृदय
Muhurat or
में
the early
दो
morning,
तीन पत्थर रखकर
he
सनातन
took two,
गोस्वामी ने
three
मदन गोपाल
stones
को वहां पर स्थित कर
and
दिया
he
और सनातन
established
गोस्वामी
Madan Gopal
मदन गोपाल की
there,
सेवा करने लगे।
and he started doing the devotional
और
service
सेवा तो
towards
क्या,
the
कोई
Lord.
ज्यादा खास सेवा नहीं, क्योंकि
So,
महाप्रभु
what
की आज्ञा थी कि भाई
service
तुम
Sanatan Goswami could
ग्रंथ
provide,
लिखो
as
तो दिन भर ग्रंथ लिखने में और ठाकुर जी
his
की
main
लीला स्थली को
responsibility
समझने में
was to write about the
सेवा
scriptures
तो
and the
बहुत
past
लिखते
and
थे।
find out the
तो
pastimes of Lord
सनातन
Shri
गोस्वामी
Krishna's
मधुकरी करते थे।
land,
मधुकरी मतलब
Vrindavan.
मधु माने भौरा।
So he
भौरा क्या होता है? बहुत सारे फूलों से रस
he
लेता है।
barely used to go and
मधुकरी का अर्थ
ask
समझने लायक है।
alms. So what is the
भौरा
meaning of begging
एक
or
एक फूल
madhukari?
निचोड़ नहीं देता
So
कि वो
the
फूल लायक न
the
बने,
bee
थोड़ा थोड़ा इस फूल से थोड़ा रस
so
लिया,
the
इस फूल
bee
से रस
should
लिया,
always
सभी
take
फूलों से रस
the
लेता है।
nectar not from only one flower
तो किसी
and
कोई
evaporates
यजमान
the
को निचोड़ देना, बस एक
this
यजमान है तो बस उसी को,
from this
उसी का बैंक बैलेंस ही
devotee.
बिगाड़ देना, उसी का कुछ
So
फिर वो कैसे जिएगा मरेगा।
so
मधुकरी माने थोड़ा थोड़ा
if
भाई सब लोग थोड़ा थोड़ा
so
सेवा करो,
the bee
इसका
takes
बैलेंस
contribution from all the
स्थिर
flowers to
करके रखो।
maintain a balance. That is what
ठाकुर ने हमें
madhukari
बहुत
is.
कुछ सिखाया है। इवन मैंने
It should
अपने
not be
बाप
like
को यहाँ
we
से
should
बहुत कुछ सीखने को
spoil the
मिला
balance of one devotee who
है।
is willing to
मधुकरी होनी
give,
चाहिए ताकि किसी को
so
बर्डन ना हो, किसी
so
को एक
that
ही आदमी पर सारा बोझा ना आ जाए,
all the burden should not fall
थोड़ी
on
थोड़ी
one
सेवा
person.
करके।
So
तो सनातन गोस्वामी
and
बहुत
everybody
उनके
gets
घर
a
पर रुका
chance to
करते
serve.
थे।
So that is the real
तो
meaning
एक
of
दिन
madhukari or
मदन
begging
गोपाल जी को
for
मिला कि सूखी
alms.
रोटी मिलती थी।
So Sanatan
तो
Goswami used to
मदन गोपाल
get
बहुत करते थे। ठाकुर
dried
जी की
chapati,
श्रद्धा हो तो
and
घर के
if
विग्रह
you
बनते
have
हैं।
the faith
मदन गोपाल जी
in
ने
the
बहुत
Lord,
करके
then the
दिखाया।
Lord talks with you. So
बहुत सारे
Madan
फल
Gopal
दिखाए,
used to talk with
लेकिन
Sanatan
ये सूखी
Goswami,
सूखी रोटी
and
खा रहे हो,
he told him that you are
सूखी सूखी
offering
रोटी के
me
साथ नमक तो दे दो।
such
मैंने
chapati
कहा कि लो,
which is already dried up, at
बोले
least
नहीं
offer me
सर।
some salt with
वहां से
it.
गुरु जी ने भेजा ग्रंथ
So
लिखो,
he said that
ये कम था।
uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my bona fide spiritual master, has given me the responsibility to write about the scriptures and to find the holy places. So, so he, so he said that okay, from tomorrow I will get some salt also for you. So he started asking for the salt as well. So for so he started giving or offering salt and chapati to the Lord. So after 4 or 5 days, so that so after 4 or 5 days, he told Sanatan Goswami that because the chapati and salt gets dried up, so I'm not able to pass it through my neck. So if you give some oil or ghee on that, then it will be easier for me to chew. So Sanatan Goswami got upset and he said that I'm already busy in devotional service and you- you're asking me all these things. So there is a principle here that there are two situations, like while there is one condition, like one desire of the Lord, and on the other hand there is a desire of guru. So so he said that i am I am busy with my devotional service that has been given to me by my bona fide spiritual master. So Krishna says that, okay, is it fine if I go ahead and arrange for myself? He said, yeah, you can go ahead and do the same. So let me share one story with you. So there was one pan- Pandit. So he used to read Bhagvat Katha, but because of the lockdown, he was unable to share Bhagvatam Katha. So he thought that now the people are not listening to the Katha. So what he used to do, he said that at least Lord will listen to the Katha. So what he did was he made Ram and Sita the organizers, and they used to offer the Katha to them. And for 9 days, he was he's doing very fine katha. So Ram, Lakshman, Sita ji, Hanuman ji were discussing how much uh, offering we should give to this Pandit or the Brahmana. So they were saying that he's working very hard. So what should we offer him? So after discussion, they thought that okay, we should give him or offer him 1,000 rupees. This is how we were going to give. So they said that Hanumanji will offer that same. So, so they said that after the katha is complete, please offer him 1,000 rupees. So Hanumanji said, okay, I'll do the same. So, so although he was speaking the katha for the pleasure of Ramchandra and Sita ji, but some villagers used to come and they used to offer 1 rupee or 2 rupees according to their desire. And while Lord Ramchandra and Sita ji, etc., were discussing this, one materialist, sahukar, or a person who gives money on interest, he overheard them, and he thought that said that he met the Brahmana and said that how much money is being offered to you. He said that the money that will be offered to me is nothing because I'm offering the katha to the Lord. So he said that. So he said that So the Sahukar said that I will give you 500 of whatever you get in the Katha. So the Pandit or the Brahmana agreed, okay, because the materialist was aware that the Panditji is going to get 1,000 rupees, so I will be in profit. So people were coming and the money was getting collected. So on the last day or the ninth day, Hanumanji took all the money and that materialist Sahukar was sitting there waiting for the 1,000 rupees. So the Katha came to an end, and yet there was no money on the scene, and the materialist got upset and angry that I gave the Brahmana 500 rupees in ex- desiring for 1,000 rupees, but I couldn't get it. So he he heard the Hanumanji.
और 500 का इंतजाम हो रहा है उसका जो पांव पकड़ा था साहूकार का
So Hanumanji grabbed the feet of that materialist and said that, and he said that you were supposed to give the Brahmana 1,000 rupees. So what happened? You only gave. So he said, Hanumanji said that I have arranged for 500, but for 500 more, the arrangement is being done. So Hanumanji said that you should give him 500 more, then only I will leave your fee. So in this manner, Hanumanji arranged for 1,000 rupees for the Brahmana. So in similar fashion, Sanatan Goswami said that you can make your own arrangements. So after 2 days, there was a merchant in Kabul who used to do business of the Himalayan salt. So he used to fill all the salt in his boat to bring it and sell near Yamunaji. So this merchant Ramdas Kapoor was coming from Kabul, bringing Himalayan salt with him. So as soon as he reached the village, his boat got stuck and he was worried that what will happen now. So Madan Gopal changed his form and went to this merchant and said that there is a way that you can that your distress can be removed. So he said that there is one Acharya, Sanatan Goswami, who stays nearby. So he said that you should go and take his blessings, then your work will be done. But you need to offer him something. So he went, the Kapoor went to Sanatan Goswami and asked for his blessings, as my boat is stuck, so please bless me. So, and he saw that Madan Gopalji was sitting on the stone, and he said that if my boat, which is stuck here, gets removed from that obstacle, then whatever profit I make from this, I half of that I will use for the service of Madan Gopalji, and I will build a temple and make arrangements for his bhoga. So as soon as that merchant went there at the place, he realized that this boat was no more stuck, and from he kept his promise, and from the profit he built a huge temple for Madan Gopalji, and he arranged and did such an arrangement that he should get 56 types of food items in his meal on a daily basis. So Sanatan Goswami said that I have to live detached from this material world. So, and now Madan Gopal said that I am here alone. I need Radharani as well. So he said that he he said that there is a one person, Purushottam Dev, you should go there and he will give you Radharani and you should bring it. And on the other hand, he gave this instruction to this guy in his dream that you need to offer Srimati Radharani to us. So there were two temples. So has arranged the Purushottam Dev has arranged for two deities for Srimati Radharani. So when he got these two deities, Sanatan Goswami he said that don't take this Radharani to the temple and so I want the pleasure from both the sides. So the smaller one should be kept as Radharani and the bigger one as Lalita Sakhi. So this was done in 1748. So this is how beautiful pastimes of our acharyas were performed. It is mentioned that on the banks of Radha Kund, Rup Goswami was writing the scripture and he was writing, describing beautifully in Chatu Pushpanjali, Rup Goswami wrote this verse and Sanatan Goswami said that what you're writing and he showed. So it was mentioned that Srimati Radharani is very beautiful, as white as snow, and her hair are like a snake. Sanatan Goswami said that everything that you've written is good, but you're comparing Radharani's hair as snake. I don't think this is appropriate. So Sanatan Goswami said that if you can remove that, then it will be okay. So he said that as you wish, Bhaiya, my brother, and I will do the same. So as soon as Sanatan Goswami started from there, he reached on the banks of river and he saw beautiful girls playing and he saw a girl and he saw that she was very beautiful and he saw her there and saw there were a snake in her hair and he ran and to tell her that there is a snake in your hair and then as soon as he reached her he realized that it was not the snake but her hair. So that time he realized that Rup Goswami has not mentioned this according to his whims and fancies, but he has seen the pastimes of the Lord performing live, and then only he has written. So that is so Sanatan Goswami realized that, and he Srimati Radharani manifested in front of Sri Sanatan Goswami. So it's mentioned that Sanatan Goswami used to walk and circumvallate the Govardhan on a daily basis. And he used to bow down in front of 1,000 Vaishnavas on a daily basis. How, as as Madan Gopal got Srimati Radharani, he was used to be called as Madan Mohan. And when Sanatan Goswami grew old, Madan Mohan manifested in his dream and said that now that you're getting old, you should not do the same. So, so he said that no, I need to do that. So what he did was he said that I will give you a piece of Govardhan Hill and you can circumvallate it 4 times and that will be enough. And this same Shila or stone, a piece of Govardhan, is still in the temple and we can go and visit the same in Radha Damodar temple. So, in this way, the pastimes of Sanatan Goswami are limitless or numerous. So there was a devotee of the of Lord Shiva, and he said that I need a paras money. So that devotee, so Shivji told him that there is one devotee who has a paras money. You can go and ask him. So he went to him, and he was Sanatan Goswami, and said that Shivji has sent me to get the paras money from you. So Sanatan Goswami was chanting the holy names, and he said that there is a trash can there. You see there you will find the paras money. So he found it in the trash and he said that Shivji is great and you are also great. And while he was going back, he realized that he was intelligent. He thought that a person who has kept paras money in the trash can, that means that he has something more valuable than that with him. So he came back and bowed down at the lotus feet of Sanatan Goswami and said that paras money has a quality that if you touch it with iron, it becomes gold. So if you have kept it in the trash can, then so that means that you have a greater thing. Then why don't you offer me that? So he said that yes, I have something that is greater than that. But if you want that, then you need to throw this parasmani into the river. So he said that parasmani is the thing of this material world, but I have the greater thing which is greater in material world, and it belongs to spiritual world. That is the chanting of the holy names. So that guy was given Harinam by Sanatan Goswami, and he became overwhelmed and became a devotee of the Lord, and he was delivered. So Sanatan Goswami used to have a cottage where he used to sing the bhajans of the Lord. So there for 4 days he was staying without eating anything, and he hasn't received any alms. So how he's going? So Krishna, Madan Gopal was overwhelmed he could not tolerate it, and he manifested, and as a boy, he came with a bowl of milk and said that this is milk for you. So he said that, who are you? He said that we are four brothers.
और एक गोवर्धन में रहता है, एक दाऊजी में, एक मथुरा में, ब्रज में.
So we all stay in Govardhan, Vrindavan, etc. And our father is Nand. He said that my father is Nandu. And you should drink this milk that my father has given. He said, what about this bowl? He said that I will come and pick it up after day or two. So after drinking that milk, he realized that this is not an ordinary milk. This is something arranged by the Lord. So he went in search of the father of this boy, Nandu. They said that there is nobody as Nandu, but it's the son of Nand Maharaj, Krishna himself, who came to give you that milk.
श्री चैतन्य सनातन गोस्वामी विक्रम संवत 1615 में
in 1615, Sanatan Goswami, on the day of Ashad Purnima, he left for the eternal abode of the Lord. And on the day Sanatan Goswami left, every living entity in Braja was crying. Even the non-devotees, the animals, birds, etc., all were crying, and everybody shaved their head. And that is the reason till date it is called as Mundan Purnima as well. So we should see that he took very little from the society, but imagine what he has given to this society. He has given the glorious information about the Vrindavan Dham, and the scriptures that he wrote were amazing. Prabhupada used to say that if you want to be sincere in your pure devotional service of the Lord, then you should study Brihad Bhagavatam written by Sanatan Goswami. So it's mentioned that who is the biggest devotee and which is the most pious space on this world. So the interpretation of the same was done by Sanatan Goswami, and the other book that he wrote was Hare Krishna. So all the reasons that how and why we should do the veneration of the Lord is mentioned in detail in that Hari Bhakti Vilas. And then there is a Digdarshini by Sanatan Goswami, from where we heard Damodar Leela. So the fourth one was Shri Leela Stava. So the first 52 chapters from the 10th canto of Bhagvatam were interpreted by him in that book. Then he wrote Brihad Bhagvat Toshini, in which he mentioned the interpretations of Shrimad Bhagavatam. So these 5 scriptures written by Sanatan Goswami, and it's also mentioned that he wrote even a grammar book, which all are amazing books. So yesterday I forgot to mention the books written by Rup Goswami. So even Rup Goswami has written quite few books. So the first is Hansadut, Second, Uddhav Sandesh,
राधा कृष्ण गणोदेश दीपिका।
Radha Krishna
राधा कृष्ण
Ganesh,
लीला में
Deepika.
कौन से पात्र, उसका क्या रोल है, कहाँ
And
पे
what
है,
is the
ये
role
सब राधा कृष्ण
of
गणोदेश
and
दीपिका
of the eternal associates of the Lord is mentioned in this book. Then he wrote Stav Mala.
पूरे ग्रंथ में क्या क्या है, केवल इसको बताने जाऊं तो एक कथा हो जाएगी। केवल मतलब मोटा मोटी इस ग्रंथ में क्या है, इस ग्रंथ में क्या है।
If I give you a little introduction of each book, then a katha can be organized.
ये ग्रंथ, ये सब मेरे पास है, कल मैं इसका लिस्ट बना रहा था कि रूप गोस्वामी के कौन से हैं। कृष्ण जन्म तिथि विधि, छठा
He wrote
अष्टादश लीला जिसमें नंदोत्सव आदि का वर्णन, सातवां ग्रंथ दान केली कौमुदी, आठवां भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु जिसे श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने बहुत सुंदर तरीके से प्रस्तुत किया, नौवां ग्रंथ
he has written the nectar of devotion which Prabhupada ji has beautifully described.
12वां पद्यावली जो मैंने आपको कहा था पर्सनल डायरी पद्यावली,
Then
13वां ग्रंथ
his personal diary Padyavali.
14वां ग्रंथ निकुंज रहस्य
14th
स्तव,
Nikunj Rihas
15वां ग्रंथ
Stava.
नाट्य चंद्रिका,
Then Natya
16वां
Chandrika.
ग्रंथ विदग्ध माधव,
16th Vidagdha
17वां
Madhav.
ग्रंथ ललित
17th
माधव।
Lalit Madhav.
तो 17 ग्रंथ श्री
So
रूप
these
गोस्वामी ने,
17 books
5
were
ग्रंथ
written
सनातन
by
गोस्वामी ने,
Rup Goswami and 5 by Sanatan
बहुत
Goswami.
सुंदर भेंट देख कर
And
भाई
they
भगवत
offered
चले गए।
such a
आइए
beautiful offering to this
भगवत
society.
भट्ट गोस्वामी के विषय में
So
सुनेंगे,
let's
लेकिन एक छोटी सी
move
सूचना छोटे से
to
ब्रेक के बाद, क्योंकि मेरे पीछे जो बैठे हुए हैं
Raghunath Swami
वो
after a short break.
लेना है, तो रघुनाथ भट्ट गोस्वामी के विषय में सुनकर
So we will discuss about Raghunath Bhatt Goswami after a short break.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. बहुत ही सुंदर सनातन गोस्वामी की इस लीला कथा को आज आपने यहाँ पर बहुत ही अद्भुत प्रकार से वर्णन किया। ऐसा लगता था कि सुनते ही जाए। This sudden break will definitely cause a jerk to all those जो भी आपके भगवत कथा रसिक भक्त हैं उनके लिए। तो बहुत ही सुंदर श्री सनातन गोस्वामी की लीला कथा को प्रभु जी ने बताया, और किस प्रकार आज हमने श्री षडगोस्वामी अष्टकम के इस तृतीय श्लोक में उनकी व्याख्या बताई, और श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु का जो वर्णन बारंबार करते हैं, श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरो भुवि भुरो, और बहुत सुंदर जिनकी हम कथा बारंबार सुनते हैं ऐसे भगवान की कथा, और सनातन गोस्वामी रूप गोस्वामी के द्वारा ये जो सारे हम मानव समाज को देन है, ये दिव्य ग्रंथ, उसके वर्णन, और किस प्रकार आज हम सब जो ब्रज में जाकर जिसका आनंद ले रहे हैं, वो एक एक स्थली को हमारे इन गोस्वामियों ने हमारे लिए खोजा है, जिसके वजह से हम आज ब्रज में जा पा रहे हैं और इन स्थानों का दर्शन कर पा रहे हैं। तो ऑल दिस प्लेसेस जिनको हमारे इन गोस्वामियों ने डिस्कवर किया है, और साथ ही साथ बहुत ही सुंदर मदन गोपाल के साथ में जो पास्ट टाइम्स आपने बताया, किस प्रकार मदन गोपाल का प्राकट्य, श्रील सनातन गोस्वामी को मिलना, भेंट होना उन महावन स्थान में, और श्री सनातन गोस्वामी को मिलना तथा सनातन गोस्वामी के साथ में ये सुंदर पास्ट टाइम्स जो भगवान ने किए। तो आप सब ने अपनी इतनी अद्भुत प्रकार से इसका वर्णन किया, इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, और थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रभु जी। और साथ ही साथ अनेक अनेक ग्रंथ जो आपने बताए हमारे इन आचार्यों के द्वारा लिखे गए, और बहुत ही सुंदर एक और लीला जो आपने बताई यहाँ पर श्रीमती राधा रानी की उस नागिन वाली चोटी की, जो श्रील सनातन गोस्वामी ने धन ही रूप गोस्वामी को बताया कि आप वास्तव में बहुत सुंदर भक्त हो भगवान के। और साथ ही साथ आज एक और अद्भुत कथा आपने बताई, जहाँ पर सनातन गोस्वामी इनका जो एक नियम था, दृढ़ व्रता था, है ना, जो नियम था कि प्रतिदिन ब्रज वृंदावन की परिक्रमा, गोवर्धन की परिक्रमा करना। तो कैलकुलेशन इस प्रकार से है कुछ, फ्रॉम वृंदावन टू गोवर्धन इज समथिंग लाइक अराउंड 18-20 किलोमीटर है। एंड देन जो 21 किलोमीटर की गोवर्धन परिक्रमा है, देन कमिंग बैक टू अगेन वृंदावन which is around 20, तो around 64 किलोमीटर every single day सनातन गोस्वामी used to walk। और इस दौरान हजारों वैष्णवों को दंडवत प्रणाम करना, और किस प्रकार मदन मोहन जी ने वह सुंदर शीला प्रदान की, गोवर्धन शीला, और सनातन गोस्वामी को कहा कि आपको इनकी 4 परिक्रमा करनी है और सेम फल यू विल ऑब्टेन एज अ गोवर्धन परिक्रमा। So I have that picture which all of you are receiving every single day, I know that, so I'll just I would like to display that picture, because हम सब यहाँ पर प्रतिदिन जो गोवर्धन शिला बताई थी प्रभु जी ने, उसका एक ग्लिम्स यहाँ पर है हमारे पास उपस्थित, जो कि हम आपको दिखाएंगे। Here it is on our screen. So this is that Govardhan Shila, which is जिनकी परिक्रमा हम श्री राधा दामोदर मंदिर में करते हैं। और इस शीला में आप देख रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर ये जो दिस इज अ काउ हुक प्रिंट, गाय के खूर का निशान है, और भगवान की ये चरण चिन्ह है। और यहाँ पर ये जो बांसुरी है, तो ये शीला भगवान ने प्रदान की थी श्रील रूप सनातन गोस्वामी को, जो कि आज भी इस श्री राधा दामोदर मंदिर में उपस्थित हैं। और श्रील प्रभुपाद का क्वार्टर भी वहीं पर है। आई मीन श्रील प्रभुपाद जिन्होंने ये सारे ग्रंथों को लिपिबद्ध किया, और वहीं श्री राधा दामोदर मंदिर में श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस कुटिया में वहां पर लिखा, और वहीं पर श्रील सनातन गोस्वामी रूप गोस्वामी की जो सली हैं, मतलब तो वहां पर ही हैं, उनको दर्शन करते हुए इन ग्रंथों को लिखा श्रील प्रभुपाद ने। और यहाँ पर हजारों भक्त जाते हैं और ये सुंदर परिक्रमा करते हैं। तो देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ डीटीज ओवर देयर, जो कि अनेक आचार्यों के द्वारा जो सेवित विग्रह है इस मंदिर में। सो व्हेनेवर यू विजिट, प्लीज विजिट श्री राधा दामोदर टेम्पल। और तो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू ये दर्शन कराना चाहते हो। Many of them devotees are already getting these darshans every single day. So once again I just thought of, because I was having this, so that will add feather क्योंकि प्रभु जी ने हाल ही में अभी जिस कथा को हमें बताया और उसको हम मनन करते हैं और उसका पिक्चर सामने आ जाता है, तो that raises our faith and our enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness. So that was the darshan. आइए हम दर्शन करते हैं गौ माता के, then पश्चात we'll have a hear about Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So again, आज हमारे श्री राधा गोविंद गोस्वामी के जो दर्शन हैं वो हमें आज प्राप्त हुए हैं। और आज हमें पता चला कि आज इस होलीनेस राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज की आज आविर्भाव तिथि है। तो we are very glad, because every single year when Maharaj used to be here in Mumbai, we used to attend his Vyas Puja Mahotsav. तो आज परम पूज्य राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज की जन्मतिथि है, आविर्भाव दिन है। तो हम महाराज जी के लिए भी, हम उनके लिए क्या प्रार्थना करें? He is already blessed and we request him to pray for us so that we'll get delivered. तो महाराज जी के चरणों में वंदन। आज के दिन उनको स्मरण करते हुए आज सुबह से हमें मैसेज आ रहे थे महाराज जी की व्यास पूजा है आज, तो वी वर मिसिंग दोज डेज। बहुत सुंदर व्यवस्था होती थी, बहुत सुंदर कार्यक्रम और ग्लोरी सुनने को मिलती थी महाराज जी के मुखारविंद से। तो आज हम जो आज के दर्शन है हमारे गौ माता के, हम डेडिकेट करना चाहेंगे महाराज जी को। और बहुत सुंदर महाराज जी ने कहा योगदान है हमारे इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कृष्ण भावनामृत संघ सोसाइटी में। तो महाराज जी को स्मरण करते हुए, और हमारे यजमान परिवार जिन्होंने ये भागवत कथा कराई, तो इतने सारे सुंदर त्योहार बीच में है, जैसे महाराज जी की व्यास पूजा, और हम इस गोस्वामी की कथा श्रवण कर रहे हैं। तो आई कैन से इट्स बहुत ही इट्स बून, क्योंकि भागवत कथा के दौरान ऐसे दिन बीच में आना, दैट इज वंडरफुल। तो हम प्रार्थना करेंगे कृष्ण से, गौ माता से, कि गुरु महाराज की स्वास्थ्य अच्छा बना रहे और उनके आश्रय में हम सब इसी प्रकार भजन भक्ति करते रहें और कृष्ण की तथा वैष्णव की सेवा करते रहें। तो once again thank you very much to our Devluka family तथा हमारे मेहता फैमिली को जिन्होंने यहाँ पर सहयोग किया है, जिसके फलस्वरूप हम इतनी अद्भुत भागवत कथा को श्रवण कर रहे हैं that we cannot just describe in a words, because this is not something that we are hearing. This is जो हम सुन रहे हैं, ये इतना आसान या इतना ऑर्डिनरी चीज नहीं है. जैसे प्रभु जी ने बताया था, एक लीला भी बताई कि किस प्रकार शिव जी ने एक व्यक्ति को वहां पर भेजा सनातन गोस्वामी के पास उस पारस मणि को लेने के लिए. तो टच स्टोन, ऑफ कोर्स अगर हमारे पास होता है तो हम तो वी हैव गॉन क्रेजी, हम लोग पागल हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि जिस चीज को वो छूता है दैट कन्वर्ट्स इनटू गोल्ड. तो ऐसी कोई वस्तु जो श्री सनातन गोस्वामी भजन करते समय उसको कचरे के डिब्बे में फेंक दिया, एंड देन दैट पर्सन हु वाज एक्चुअली कॉल्ड इंटेलिजेंट, क्योंकि उनको ये समझ में आया, उनकी बुद्धि में आया कि जो व्यक्ति ऐसे पारस मणि जैसी चीज को कचरे के डब्बे में फेंक सकता है, दैट मीन्स ही हैज समथिंग वेरी something unprecious is पारस मणि से भी. So he realized that and again approached to that sadhu inquiring about absolute truth. So that is wonderful. तो इन आचार्यों की कथा को हम श्रवण कर रहे हैं, and we are truly indebted to Prabhuji for this wonderful Bhagavad Katha, what he has been describing. So thank you very much Prabhuji. और बहुत सुंदर हम गौ सेवा के दर्शन भी किए हैं. तो आप सभी भक्तों से भी निवेदन है कि आप सब भी इस प्रकार गौ सेवा में सहयोग कर सकते हैं, और हमारे इस श्री राधा गोविंद गौशाला में जहाँ पर हम गौ माता की सेवा कर रहे हैं, you also can approach us in this गौ सेवा. तो you can now contact us on 7567545555 for any kind of go seva, like sevaperfect@gmail.com is our email address, and perfectseva.com where you can see our Goshala's activity. So I request you to kindly come forward to help us, serve these cows better way. So बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सभी भक्तों का. आइए सुनते हैं शेष कथा प्रभु जी के मुख से. हरे कृष्ण.
वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको.
So we heard about the pastimes of Rup Goswami and Srila Sanatan Goswami, and now in the sequence, let's listen about Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. So if you see behind us, so that is the form of Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. So we need to go backwards towards the history. In history, there was a village named Rampur on the banks of Padmavati river, and there was a very pious Brahmana who used to stay there and whose name was Sri Tapan Mishra.
अब तपन मिश्र के विषय में एक उनकी विशेषता ये थी.
So one of the quality of Tapan Mishra was that he used to go in great pain to get the detail and conclusion of whatever he used to hear. It's not that he will just listen a little bit. No, he wanted to understand in detail about everything. And he was well versed in the whole scriptures and Vedic injunctions. But he couldn't reach any conclusion. So what he was not able to conclude was that what is the goal of a human life or living entity. He wanted to understand what is the highest goal of a jeev, living entity or human. So he wanted to know what can overwhelm and fulfill the desires of a living entity. And what is the goal of human life? So he was distressed and anxious.
क्योंकि गीता में तो कृष्ण ने कहा है कि जिनके हृदय में संशय होता है वो तो नष्ट ही हो जाता है.
So in Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned that if you have a doubt, it will destroy you.
ये नष्ट नहीं हुए,
But
ये केवल चिंतित
Tapan
हुए.
Mishra was not getting destroyed. He was anxious
और
and
इन वेद
distressed.
पुराण शास्त्रों को पढ़ते हुए मन में चिंता लेकर हालांकि जीवन का
And
लंबा
while
समय बीता, लेकिन अभी भी अंधेरे में
reading
मैं
and
घूम रहा हूँ, गप्पा
contemplating,
मार रहा हूँ.
and I've been trying to
आप में
find the
से भी
goal of
कई
human
लोगों को
life,
जानता हूँ
and
कि
I
जन्म
have
से
been
ही
roaming
संस्कृत
here and
परिवार में
there.
जन्म हुआ,
So
श्रद्धा भाव
I
सब कुछ था,
know
लेकिन कंक्लूजन
quite a
नहीं
few
जानता
people in this katha
क्या
as
है,
well who
लक्ष्य क्या है,
who
क्या करना है,
were
कहाँ
born in a
पहुंचना है.
pious family, but they
ये
were
तो
searching for the
पूर्वाश्रम में
real goal
संस्कार
of
लेने
life.
के बाद हमें पता
But
चला
it's that
कि आखिर
after
जीवन का
reaching
लक्ष्य क्या है.
to the
फिर भी
organizations
इसी चिंता को
started by
लेकर
Srila
रात में
Prabhupada, that
सोए
we found this way
और तपन
or
मिश्र
path
को
of
रात को
life.
स्वप्न में एक सुंदर पुरुष का दर्शन हुआ
So Tapan
और
Mishra
सुंदर पुरुष ने
saw
कहा
a
कि
dream
बेटा
and he
बताओ,
saw Param Purush,
तुम
Lord
निमाई
Krishna,
पंडित के पास
in
जाओ,
his
वो निमाई
dream,
पंडित
and he
तुम्हारा
told
सारा
him that
संशय
you
दूर
should
करेंगे,
go and visit
सारी चिंता का समाधान करेंगे.
Nimai Pandit and he will
सुबह
solve
उठते ही
your
इंक्वायरी करने
curiosity.
लगे, निमाई पंडित कहाँ रहता है.
And then he, in the
उस समय
morning,
श्री
he
चैतन्य महाप्रभु
started
बंगाल से
in
नवद्वीप को
search
जा
of
रहे थे
Nimai Pandit.
और जाते समय रास्ते में रामपुर नाम
So
का गांव
at
था,
that
वहां पर
time,
चैतन्य
Chaitanya
महाप्रभु रुके थे
Mahaprabhu
और तपन
was
मिश्र भी
going back.
चलते चलते रामपुर गांव में पहुंचे और रामपुर गांव में
And
निमाई
Chaitanya
पंडित से ये
Mahaprabhu
बात है कि
was
चैतन्य महाप्रभु का
has
सन्यास
reached,
नहीं हुआ है, सन्यास के पहले की बात है.
and this was
तो रामपुर
before
गांव में
he
सन्यास के पहले
took
चैतन्य महाप्रभु,
sannyas
निमाई
or
पंडित
Brahman
और
initiation.
तपन मिश्र का मिलन हुआ और मिलन होते ही तपन मिश्र अष्टांग प्रणाम करने लगे,
And
निमाई पंडित के चरणों में
there
गिर गए और चैतन्य महाप्रभु के चरणों में
at the
साधना,
temple,
साधन
and
और
this
भक्ति की
village,
जिज्ञासा कर
Nimai Pandit used to say, and there Tapan Mishra also reached
महाप्रभु ने
and
कहा
he bowed down at the lotus feet
तपन
of Chaitanya
मिश्र
Mahaprabhu and
तुम
Nimai
बड़े
Pandit.
भाग्यशाली हो.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that
बोले
you are
मैं
extremely
भाग्यशाली हूँ, इतने
fortunate.
दिनों से चिंतित और
Tapan
भाग्यशाली
Mishra said that
कैसे.
how can I be fortunate? I
बोले
have been
तुम
distressed for so
भाग्यशाली इसलिए
long.
हो क्योंकि
So he said
तुम्हारे
that
मन में ये सब प्रश्न हो रहे
you are
हैं
most fortunate
कि
because
मनुष्य जीवन का लक्ष्य
you
क्या है, सार क्या
have
है, साधन क्या है.
such
अगर
intelligent
यही
questions
बात
in your
है
mind.
तो यही प्रश्न होता
Otherwise,
है कि अच्छा पिज्जा कहाँ मिलता है,
generally people only
यहाँ
inquire
बर्गर
about
कहाँ मिलेगा.
where
ये
will
लोग
I
तो इसी
get
में फंसी
a
हैं,
good
एटलीस्ट
pizza or a
भविष्य के
burger.
ऊपर उठे
So people are
भविष्य
entangled
क्या
in these
होगा,
material
लेकिन
desires.
उच्च
Although you
जिज्ञासा
might
तो
not have
करनी पड़ेगी.
received the answer, but
आपकी
you
इंक्वायरी
have
तो
great
हायर क्वालिटी
questions.
की है.
Your inquiry is of great
महाप्रभु के
quality.
सुंदर शब्द है.
So
तपन मिश्र
Mahaprabhu
इस दुनिया
explained
में
beautifully
कृष्ण
to
की
Tapan
भक्ति
Mishra,
ज्ञान अत्यंत दुर्लभ है
and he said that
और
it
ऐसी अत्यंत
is
दुर्लभ
very
भक्ति के विषय में
difficult
कोई
to
जानना
find
चाहता है
the pure devotional service
तो
of
ये
the Lord.
बहुत बड़ी
And if
कैटेगरी है.
somebody inquires about the
तपन
same, he's very, very
ऐसी भक्ति
fortunate.
करने के लिए निश्चित ही
So he said that
बहुत
to
सारी
perform the pure
वस्तुओं
devotional
और
service
विषयों को
of the
जानने की
Lord,
आवश्यकता
it's
होती है.
necessary that you should
क्या
have
क्या जानना
the
होता है.
knowledge of so many things.
तो
So,
कृष्ण
what are the
भक्ति के लिए
requirements
सबसे पहले
to
भजन
perform pure
किसको
devotional
कहते हैं.
service of the bhakti?
भजन
Is
करने का अधिकारी कौन है.
whose
भजन
glory
करने
should we
के लिए
sing,
कैसी चित्त वृत्ति की आवश्यकता है.
and what should be the
जीव का
situation
स्वरूप
of our
क्या है.
heart,
तपन
what
मिश्र
is the
भगवान
form
विष्णु
of
का स्वरूप क्या है,
the
जीव
Lord,
के साथ हमारा स्वरूपगत संबंध
and
क्या है,
what is our relationship with the
जीवों का
Lord,
स्वरूपानुबंधी कर्तव्य क्या है.
and what is the
देखिए ये सब
responsibility
बेसिक
of the
प्रश्न
soul
है.
of
आप
a
इतने
living
दिनों से
entity.
कथा सुन रहे हो ना, ये सब
So,
याद
these
होना चाहिए.
are the basic
और
questions.
नहीं है तो
So,
आप प्रश्न पूछो, ये सब क्लियर करना चाहिए क्योंकि ये सब बेसिक चीज क्लियर नहीं होगी
so these are the
तो
basic
भजन
questions
आप
that we all should have, Because until unless we get answer of all these, we won't be able to progress in our bhakti or pure devotional service towards the Lord.
लेकिन तपन मिश्र तुम भी अपने गांव से दूर आए, मैं भी अभी घर पर जा रहा हूँ, क्योंकि
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that
मतलब भारत जा
you came from your home, and even I am in transit, and as I'm going to back to my home.
मिल जाए और
So,
कथा मांडो तो वहाँ थोड़ी मान सकते हैं.
so if I meet somebody in transit, and if he says that, okay, you tell me Bhagavatam Katha, so I cannot speak Bhagavatam, I can just discuss for 5-10 minutes, right? So
देखो तपन मिश्र अभी
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying there
मैं
for
दे सकता,
1 hour 30 minutes or
लेकिन
so.
मैं
So
बहुत
he said that
जल्द तुम्हारे गांव वाराणसी में आऊंगा,
I am
और जब मैं काशी
right now I cannot
वाराणसी
share this
आऊंगा
knowledge, but
तो हम
soon
मिल
I
के
will
चर्चा
come
करेंगे.
to Varanasi where you stay. So
इन सारी वस्तु का कंक्लूजन जो है ना वो एक ही है,
so that time we
और
will
वो है
discuss in
हरि
detail.
नाम.
So he said that
हरे
for the
राम हरे
for
राम
meanwhile
राम नामैव
you
केवलम
should understand
ततो
that the
नास्त्यव नास्त्यव नास्त्यव
conclusion of
गतिर
all these
अन्यथा.
questions
हरे
is
कृष्णा
the
कृष्णा
chanting of the
कृष्णा
holy
हरे हरे
names.
हरे राम राम राम. कितने लोग जग रहे हैं भारत वाले धर्मराज जी, तो आपकी जिज्ञासा को भी धन्यवाद है, इतनी
So I
रात
thank you all who are filled with so much inquiry. Even at midnight, you are not sleeping and listening to the Katha.
अपने घर पर जाओ,
So he said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that right now you should go back to your home and you should chant the holy names
दो चीज होगी, ध्यान से सुनिएगा.
in this Mahamantra,
इस महामंत्र का
and
जाप करने
this
से हृदय शुद्ध होगा, और
chanting of the holy name will do two things. First, it will purify your heart, and secondly, your inquiry will be answered automatically.
का आंसर अपने आप न मिले तो हृदय इतना शुद्ध होगा कि कोई बंदा कोई साधु संत आपको
And
मिलेगा तो
even if it doesn't happen, then also your heart will be so purified that a person will come and he will arrange all this knowledge to you, and you will be able to receive it as your heart will be purified.
वापस लौट रहे थे, जाते
So,
जाते महाप्रभु को वो स्वप्न सुनाया, ध्यान से
so
सुनिएगा.
Tapan Mishra was going back and he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I saw
महाप्रभु ने कहा धीरे बोलो,
one Mahapurush in my dream,
कही है
and he said that I should go to Nimai Pandit. So he said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you have shared this information with me, but you should not share this information with.
कृष्ण कभी राधा रानी आती है ना, इसको गुप्त रखना चाहिए.
You should not share this information with me. So this is the principle for us also, that if the Lord manifests in our heart, in our dreams, then we should not share. Otherwise, the pastimes will stop manifesting. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Rampur went to Navdeep, and Tapan Mishra ji went back to Varanasi. So, at the age of 24, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and started to move towards Vrindavan. And he was passing Jharkhand and he reached Varanasi or Kashi. So in Chaitanya Charitamrut, it's mentioned that in the forest of Jharkhand, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made even the animals chant the holy names. And all types of animals came together and chanting the holy names. It is not it is not something very amazing or shocking or not acceptable, because we have seen the same with Srila Prabhupada. He brought all different paths of people, different variety together, and joined them into the pure devotional service of the Lord. So in Kashi, there is the banks of Manikarnika Ghat, and where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took bath, and Tapan Mishra also took the bath at the same place. So Tapan Mishra, when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that he was trying to remember, where have I seen this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So is he Nimai Pandit? So he asked that, are you Nimai Pandit? He said that, yeah, I am. So what happened to your hair? You had such a beautiful curly hair. He said that I have taken sannyas and have left everything. So Tapan Mishra said that, where are you staying right now? So he said that I am staying at the home of Chandrasekhar Acharya, and he said that Tapan Mishra said that you can stay wherever you want to stay, but till the day you are in Kashi, you should have your meals or prasadam at our home. So this is the foundation of Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. So if we want to have a pious child in our home, then we should serve the Vaishnavas in this manner. So from Chaitanya Charitamrut, it's mentioned how Tapan Mishra used to feed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
चरणोदक संवंशे केलपान भट्टाचार्य पूजा केल करिल सम्मान। सबसे पहले तो महाप्रभु को घर पर बुलाया ना,
So he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his home, and then as soon as he entered, he washed the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the kevat or the fisherman has washed the feet of Lord Ramchandra. And the water that was collected in such a manner, so his whole family drank that same water, and then they venerated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they offered the prasadam in a very beautiful manner to him. So he said that he was literally forcing everything but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is our culture. It's not like the West. So this buffet or Western culture, you can take whatever you want. Our Guru Maharaj used to say that this is a buffalo. This is a buffalo dinner. But as buffalo eats while standing, but in our culture, we used to sit in a row and the food was used to be offered, and the organizer or the guest at the so it's mentioned in the scriptures that if a guest comes to your home, then you should offer the food to the guest, even if he offers the food, and we should keep on offering the food to him until unless he shouts that I don't need anymore. But please don't apply this principle on me, because I have to suffer because of this philosophy that I'm sharing with you all. Although I'm not a sage or a saint, but if a saint or a sage comes to your home, this is how we should offer the prasadam to them. So, Tapan Mishra was very intelligent. So the Vaishnavas are very intelligent, because if we offer more food to the Guru and the remnants of the food are left, that we can have for ourselves. So Tapan Mishra took the remnants of the food that was left by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He ate with his wife and his family. And by the time they finished the food, Chandrasekhar Acharya also came to his home. One more thing I want to add here. What did Tapan Mishra said? He says that, so he said that until and unless I give you an invitation, you should promise that you will eat only at my home. You need to promise me that till the day you are staying in Kashi, you go to anybody's and everybody's home, but you should not have food anywhere else except our home. And Tapan Mishra and his family were expert in cooking, and his son and wife used to make amazing meals. And this is the conclusion, like the Mahaprabhu gets controlled by his devotees. He said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't had a desire to eat or have his meals daily in Tapan Mishra's home, but still, because he saw the mellow of devotion in Tapan Mishra, so he agreed. And what more happened? So the people in Kashi used to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to have food. And he used to say that my meals are already fixed, or I have already have an invitation. So in this manner, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to stay, and after having our meals, we should walk a little, and then if you sleep for a while, then the food settles in. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do the same. And while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sleep, Tapan Mishra used to tell him to massage the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how fortunate was the son of Tapan Mishra, who used to cook for Mahaprabhu, who was getting the remnants of the food of by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and who was massaging the feet of Lord Chaitanya. And he, the son of Tapan Mishra, is no other than Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. And for 10 days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to have his meals at Tapan Mishra's home, and he gave association to Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, and he used to get the remnants of the Lord. And that is the reason in his childhood he was just an 8-year-old and he got detached from the material world. So today we have formed the foundation. It's my desire that we will listen to this in a little more detail. So you all have heard this katha with so much patience. So today, the resting place is Tapan Mishra's home. So we will stay there and have prasadam there, because the prasadam there is very valuable, as it is the remnants of Lord Shri Chaitanya. So thank you so much for listening so carefully and lovingly, with patience, and especially the organizers of Mehta and Devlukya family, Kundan Ba, Girish Bhai, Mayur Bhai, Minakshi Ben, and from Devlukya family, Hema Mataji, Shailesh Bhai, Deepa Ben, Sandeep Bhai, Radhika Preeti Mata, Ghanshyam Priya Prabhu, Nachiket Bhai, Bhabhi. I pray, I'm really grateful to all of you for organizing such a beautiful katha, for organizing such a beautiful katha. We require a great deal of courage, because otherwise the family members will say that what are we listening? But it requires a great deal of surrender and courage to organize such a katha about acharyas, and has given us benefit to all of us. So let's end this session with Jai Jaikar.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की, महाभागवत षड गोस्वामी गण की।